Hi everyone. I think we can get started with the webinar now. My name is Samnaz. I'm one of the support consultants here at Mesh Group, and I'll be hosting the webinar for today, which is for the import bank statement feature for our Cricos RTO Manager platform. During this webinar, if you have any questions or concerns at all, please feel free to let us know. You can add your questions or concerns or any suggestions that you may have in the comment section of the webinar. Although we may not be doing a question and answer session at the end of the webinar, we can get back to you after the webinar is completed, or we can raise a ticket on your behalf to get back to you regarding any concerns that you may have. Now, starting off, I'm just going to give a brief overview of what the feature is and how it's supposed to function on the Cricos platform. So as you all may be aware, the system allows the users to process payments manually for each individual students for individual invoices from their student accounts page or their account summary page. This feature in particular, it allows the users to import bulk payments for the students. So this feature uses a CSV file format. So you'll have a predefined CSV file with a few fields in the system. This will contain some simple details such as student ID, date, the payment amount received by the college, so on and so forth. You can fill out the details in the CSV file, and then once you upload it into the system, the field details will be available as payments in the student's account summary page. So in order to process the payments, the system or this feature in particular uses the first in, first out method, which is technically whichever invoices or payments are due first. So those ones will get processed first. In addition to this, miscellaneous fee invoices such as admin fee, material fee, or any other non-tuition fees that the college may be charging to their students, if there are such miscellaneous fees created in the system, then this particular feature will process the miscellaneous fees first, and then it will move on to the tuition fee invoices. So first thing, like most of the other optional solutions or optional modules that we have in the system, this import bank statement, it comes at a once-off activation cost. I'll be moving on towards the workflow of this feature. So you will find if once this module is enabled, the accounts section of the system will contain one additional option, which will say import statement. Now, if the user goes to that import statement option, it will open up a new page in the system that will give you an option to download a predefined CSV file in the system. I'll shortly go, once this one is over, I'll shortly show you how the interface and everything or the CSV file will look like once downloaded from the system. Now, once the CSV is downloaded, you can enter the relevant data for the student payments. You can save it and then upload it in the system, and then that will in turn get modified as the payments. I will zoom in a bit to make it easier for you guys to see. So this is how the interface will look like once the import bank statement module is enabled on the platform. So under the account section, you'll be able to see import statement option. If you go into this, the interface will look something like this. Now, using the download template option, you should be able to get a CSV file, which looks like something that's available at the bottom of the screen here. So the details that the user will need to add into the CSV file will not be much. It's just few simple pieces of details such as the student ID, the date when the college or the staffs have received the payment from the student, and the total amount that the student.
5, 6, 7, 8.
I'm sorry, I'll have to mute all the participants. Moving on. So using the download template option, you'll be able to download the CSV file. You can enter the student data, payment date, and the total amount received by the student. Once all the details are entered, you can upload this file using the upload button, as you can see from the interface. Now, all the details that the user has entered in the CSV file, the one that you have uploaded, so those ones will be available in a tabular format in the system interface. Now, all these records, these one will have a selectable option on the left hand side of the screen. So the user is either able to select all the records at once using the select all at the very top of the table, or the user can individually select and unselect the records that the user would like to import into the system. As you can see from the interface, I have two student records selected. So these ones are the same data that I have filled in the CSV file and then uploaded into the system. Now you should be able to review after you have uploaded the student ID, payment date, and the amount received to do a final check before importing the data in the system. Once this is done, there will be another option below that table that will say import statement. This will contain payment mode, which is a drop down. So this payment mode drop down is the same payment mode option that you would see when you do the payments and transactions as manual or as individual updates from the student accounts page. So this same drop down, you'll be able to select options like cash, check, bank deposit, so on and so forth. So you select the payment mode and any remarks that you would like to add to these payments, you'll be able to add those as well. For example, payment made on this date or anything that might make most sense to the user. So once this is done, you can simply click on the upload or import button at the bottom. So this will now import the relevant records that you've selected into the system, and then those will be converted into actual payments in the relevant student summary page. Continuing with this, so once the user has uploaded the file and then imported the statements, so this is how the page will look like. If there is any invalid or incorrect data that has been entered, for example, if the student ID that you've entered in the CSV and then uploaded, so if that one does not match any existing student ID in the system, then it will give an error message. Similarly, if the date is in incorrect format or if the amount is more than the invoiced amount for that particular student, then similarly the system will give the relevant error code or error message in the system. If, however, the payment has been successfully imported, then the icon will appear green. And then if you hover your mouse around that icon, it will say payment or statement imported successfully. So even after you've done the data import, if there is any error, the system will still let you know so that you can double check and then import the data again when or if required. So this is how the interface will look like after the data input. As an example, I've attached a screenshot of one of the error messages that has been displayed by the system, where the student ID does not match any of the existing students in the system. Now, moving forward, I'd like to talk a bit more about the actual logic based on which the system allocates the payments to the invoices. The very first thing to understand would be the two types of invoices that we have in the system, which are tuition fees and non-tuition fees. Non-tuition fees being essentially the miscellaneous fee invoices in the system. So when the payments are imported using this import bank statement feature, the miscellaneous fee invoices will get processed first. Only after that, the tuition fee invoice will get processed. For example, if for student ABC, if you have a miscellaneous fee or material fee invoice of $200, and then if you have a tuition fee invoice of $1,000, now say, or for example, the student has paid $500, which you've imported using the import bank statement option. Now, first, the $200 out of that payment will get allocated to the miscellaneous fee invoice. In this way, the miscellaneous fee invoice now gets settled. And then the remaining $300 from that same payment will get allocated to the earliest tuition fee invoice that is available for the student. Now, even among the tuition fee invoices, now the student may have multiple course enrollments under which the invoices may be created. Ideally, the earlier course enrollment would have the invoices with the earlier due dates. If that is the case, then those tuition fee invoices with the earlier due dates will get settled first. Even if it is the case that the student is only enrolled in the single course, then same logic applies that whatever tuition fee is due earliest, that one will get settled first. Now, if the payment that has been imported using the import bank statement option doesn't fully cover a particular,
Hey man, how you going?
if it doesn't fully cover an existing invoice in the system, then the payments will be partially allocated to that particular invoice. For example, if for a $2,000 invoice for a student, if only $1,000 has been imported, then that $1,000 will be allocated as a partial payment for that particular invoice. The remaining $1,000 will still show as outstanding for the student. And going forward, any other payments or any future payments that get imported for that same student will move subsequently from the last available. So the outstanding $1,000 that was there for the previous invoice, so that one will get settled first, and then moving on, it will go towards the next available invoice based on the due dates. Now, this is ideally all the functionalities that this feature covers. So this, what I've just presented, is the standard logic or the standard feature for the import bank statement module. This is, however, customizable if required. For example, if there is any logic regarding the settlement or regarding the tuition or miscellaneous fee, how the payments are allocated, so these logics are modifiable if required based on specific client requirements, but these are just the standard feature that is included as part of the import bank statement module. That should be everything for today's webinar. If you have any questions, as I just said, you can let us know in the comment section. We will review all the comments after the webinar is completed, and then we can get back to you with any concerns that you have. Additionally, this webinar recording will also be available within a few days in our YouTube channel. So if you feel you need to review the recording again, or you'd like to have any of your other staff members review the webinar as well, you can let them know, and then they should be able to check out the webinar recording from the YouTube profile. Other than this, feel free to reach us at support@meshgroup.com.au, or our contact information as shown on the screen here if you have any questions, and then we are happy to assist you further as required. Thank you all so much for your time. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend.